Good morning, good morning, good morning. I'll wait to see if anyone comes through the room. Today, we are going to do a quick story time. I think it's needed. I guess everyone is at church. Okay, I'm going to talk a little bit about what is going on. I'm about to get out of here. I have to cook Father's Day dinner. He doesn't want to go to dinner. I was going to cook a juicy steak, filet mignon, and he decided he wanted turkey loaf. So it's turkey loaf it is. Hey, Bright Star. Hey, my love, just in time. I don't know if you can just listen. I know it's Sunday, but I know you're busy, but I just want you to the put your earplug in your ear and listen to this story. This story, I just want to say there are many Tylers out there. I'm going to start the story now because I'm not going to hold y'all. We're going to have a long one. Yes, happy Father's Day to you, to your father, your husband, if you have sons. Happy Father's Day to them too, Bright Star. Bright Star is my baby. I love Bright Star. That's my baby. Okay, but before I get into praising my bright star, because y'all know I love the mods, bright star, that's my mediator, right? I told y'all bright star is the mediator. Okay, she just makes everything just sound so good and pleasant. But anyway, story time. As I said, there are a lot of Tylers out here. Tyler is not the only one that is suffering. I do believe that Tyler, the only reason why this baby got the attention that he did is that he is part of the community. There are plenty of people, senators, congressmen, mayors. There are plenty of people out here that were in the foster care system, and they know what's going on in their city. There are plenty. The mayor of DC adopted a child. They know what's going on in the cities, especially these urban cities. And let's not even talk about West Virginia, one of the poorest states out here, where the people on top make it. You either rich or you're dirt poor. There is no middle. But now we're focusing on Tyler and the Tylers. So when I saw the video, it was very, very disturbing to me. And I'm walking around, y'all, because I'm getting dressed. When I saw the video of Tyler, I was disturbed. I was so disturbed that I could not get through it. When I saw them shave his head and how they had him acting, it's almost if, okay, you want to be gay, act it out, and then saying you're not gay, you're this, you're that. I broke down crying. I broke down crying. I say I'm a part of the LGBT community because I support my friends that are part of the community. I support them 100% because you can't beat or change who you are. You are who you are. But when I saw Tyler, that just broke my heart. I was broken down. I was like, how in the world could people who are supposed to protect him do this to him? I was in tears. And then I hear about the mayor, not, I guess he was running for mayor or whatever. He comes out, and people are outraged. People are really outraged. But when they did something and removed Tyler. They didn't remove the other children. When you walk in, let me tell y'all something. When you walk into a person's home, and I'm speaking, if you are a first responder, such as what I was, you all know what I was. So this is a real story time. But when you walk in someone's house and you see that, the first thing that I see is filth. I see a bunch of kids who lives here, such and such and such. I would call, see if, child and family services. I sure would. I would call because they need to assess this situation, because there might be a way that they can get help. Maybe it's money. Maybe it's funding that they need. Not money in their hands, but funding as far as housing is concerned, Section 8 housing. How is it that she was on Section 8 in a one-bedroom apartment? Then you have the mental illness piece. See, Child and Family Services is supposed to do more than just remove children. They're supposed to offer assistance. Okay, well, we can't do this, but let me call my supervisor and see where we can refer you to. Child and Family Services is one big referral. The police department, we would do the jobs of Child and Family Services, all of these outside agencies, as far as finding help for these parents and these children. We would do their job. We would be the first ones on the scene, assessing the scene, and then calling them, waiting 2-3 hours for them to come out. See, if you work for Child and Family Services and you're triggered easy, I do not advise you to listen to this story, because we're going to cover Benita Jackson. If you don't know who Benita Jackson is, she was the mother in DC, in the district that I worked in, that killed all of her children. But let's finish with Tyler. Tyler had siblings. They removed Tyler. They did not remove the other siblings. What sense does that make? Oh, we're connecting. We're gonna collect donations and things and that for Tyler, for Tyler's education. What about his siblings? See, when you go to homes like this, where the children, they're used to what they're dealing with, and when you remove them like that, and I understand removal is needed sometimes, but don't be surprised. Tyler wanted to go back with his mother. Did y'all know that? Because that is the cycle that they live in. That's what he was used to. Tyler didn't want to leave his mama. No. And even though he probably knew his mother was wrong, Tyler didn't want to hear that. He didn't want to acknowledge that. What they're going to do now is teach Tyler, this is how you are not supposed to be treated. That's what they're going to do. And I do understand that. But don't, in the midst of that, don't start bashing his mother, who has needed help, who is in the system, who was ignored for God knows how long. This isn't the first time that Tyler's mother, and I can tell you now, people like Tyler's mother, it's unfortunate, but when they're in the system, I guarantee you the police were called at that house a couple of times, unfortunately. So don't tell me, and CFSA was called also. So don't tell me that this was this first time. And then the gentleman who's running from there said, had this been, had this been a different situation, had I known her or whatever, whatever. No, that's not what you do. It's not about your feelings at that time. It's about the feelings of not just Tyler. It's the feelings of all the children. It's the welfare of all of the children. And even if you did not like what the mother did, you were supposed to what? Render aid. And not in this case, first aid, help. Help with finding her somewhere to go. Getting them mental help. Because what they did, that's not sane. But again, there are plenty of parents that believe this is how you treat children. This is what you do. I'm going to beat the gay up out of you. You're not going to be gay in my house. How the hell you going to tell a child you not gay? There's no way. They are who they are. No matter how much people don't believe in homosexuality, homosexuality is out here and it ain't going nowhere. That's up to God to judge them. I'm putting on some makeup, y'all. Sorry about that. It's up to God to judge them, not us. We are not judge, jury, and executioner. Okay, we are children of God. And what disgusted me, again, what about the other children? What about the children that were left behind? I ain't hear nobody say nothing about the children. You called off, that guy called off a number of children that she had that were in a 1-bedroom apartment. You called them up. You didn't call their names out. You didn't say that we're getting help because these children also need help. No one said anything about that. We're going to get the mother counseling. No, she needs more than counseling. This woman needs psychotherapy. Counseling on a different level, not just to sit down. No, you can't do that, from somebody or have somebody from the community talk to her. This woman needs help. Okay, she needs help. And when she sat up there and told you all that she's been like this, been living like this, that's crazy. And then you're still mad at her. There are generations of people that have lived in the projects since before any of us were born. And what they do is they hand their Section 8 apartments or houses down to their children to keep it in the family, to keep everybody bonded together and at the same time down. So what they did yesterday, to me, just my opinion, is bull. It made no sense because you still neglected you neglected the real problem, which is getting help for not just Tyler, but for all of them. Tyler, there's a chance Tyler will be saved. There ain't even a chance. Tyler is going to be saved. Tyler is going to be helped. All of that. All of that. But what about the rest? What about the rest of the kids? What about them? What are you going to do about them? So they're just lost? So they get the scraps that you all don't want to give Tyler? Is that what it is? No, you have to help all of these children. You can't just help one. As they say, where they do that at? You don't just help one child, you help all of them. You bring all of them together. You don't separate. When I would go, I've been in people's homes where a mother was a known crackhead. But you go in her house is spotless. Spotless. And what else? This is one case I had in Northwest DC. House was spotless. The little girls were dressed to the T. But Child and Family Welfare had to come in and intervene. She was a crackhead. She would be out all night. And she just so happened to have 2 girls that were by a police officer. And he wanted them out of that situation. He was like, why is it that they have to live like this? I can give them a better life. They're my girls. And what? It took forever. But Child and Family Services finally got involved. Wait a minute. Okay. Child and Family Services finally got involved. So we take them. And all you heard was her. I was like, ma'am, I don't want to do this, but you have let them go so that they can assess them so that you can get them back. I'm sure she hates me to this day. Those girls are probably grown now. They're probably in their early 20s. This was back in like 1991. But I'm very sure that she hates me to this day. And the way that I had to remove them is I had to pry them away. It was myself, and it was one or two child and family service workers. And they just stood there. And afterwards, I felt horrible because they could have explained more in depth. Ma'am, let us do this so that we can get you some help. All you have to do is go in treatment. You can get them back. But the way they did it, and I had to do my job. I had to. Let's talk about Benita Jackson. We just talking about kids lost in the system. Benita Jackson, Jackson in DC. You can look it up. She was a mother who lived in southwest DC. She had 4 or 5 girls, I believe, and they were enrolled in school, but they hadn't been to school in almost a year. You talking about from the age of like 17 on down. The youngest might have been 6. So the oldest one's teacher, counselor, was like, you know what? This something is not right. So what did she do? She called and she went by there. She took herself over to that woman's house. She took a chance. Anything could have happened. Because that was the hood. It was the hood. She went over there. And what happened? She didn't answer the door. So she called Child and Family Services. It took them over, we're going to say months, to really just say, okay, we're going to handle this. So then they called us to go by there. Go by there. You see 4 or 5 kids at the door. You see some the little one like grabbing onto his mother's leg. That's natural because you don't know who these police are at your door. So we leave. She was supposed to send them to school the next day. Shortly after that, we found out that the oldest one, she stabbed her and put her in the closet. And then she just started killing them each. Benita Jackson had mental issues. CFSA knew they were involved with her. She had, Benita Jackson had a psychiatrist, therapists talk to you, psychiatrists talk to you in depth and give you drugs. There's a difference between the two. If someone is crazy that you know of, you demand for psychiatry, not just therapy, because some people are so far gone, like Benita Jackson. Those kids could have been saved. They could have been saved. And what? She killed all 5 of them. It was big. And they were talking about, how did Child and Family Services not know? She had open cases with an S. And Child and Family did nothing. 5 lives lost. Because of what? Because Child and Family Services don't want to do their damn job. It takes the news, the media. Then they tried to put Benita Jackson killing her kids off on us. The oldest daughter was dead so long that her skin had she was beyond recognition. Her skin had mummified on her bones. So you mean to tell me Child and Family is doing their job? They not doing shit. Excuse my language. They not doing nothing. They are overlooking. There's so many children in the system. You will bring them in, put them in foster care, and a lot of foster care parents don't give a shit. You know why? Because in certain states, you get paid. DC alone, you might get 1,500 for one teenager. That's a lot of money. I know people I worked with that were foster parents that were trash, owned a home in DC and a big house in Maryland. Are you kidding me? It's all about the money. She did it, her mother did it, and the mother was ghetto, she was ghetto. Work with me. Thank God they ended up ending her program. But it happens so many times. You want to put them in a foster care system because you, for real, the foster care system is just somewhere, it's temporary shelter, somewhere for them to stay while you so-called build a case that you're not working on. And when we go to court, you don't have half of the information that you need. I don't have this. The judge, well, do you have the information re, uh, referring to your client? No, judge, at this time, no, because our case log, we are overwhelmed with cases. They always overwhelmed with cases. When is somebody going to finally do something? When? Again, there are so many cases like this, and we're going to talk about DC alone. I've had to deal with mothers who have murdered their children. And we're not even talking about LGBT. I get on the scene, a young girl had been beating her son for years. He wasn't nothing but 6 years old. He couldn't come out in the summertime and play. He had to come out. No, he had to come out and play with a shirt on in like 98-degree weather. You know, little boys want to take the shirts off. And when he would take it off, she would scream for him to put it back on because of the bruises. I go to that house. She's fake crying. And I can talk about it now. The boy is on the ambulance. The ambulance cannot work on him. You know why? Because he was DOA on arrival, 6 years old. I go in his room, blood and throw up on the wall, feces in the bed. That's telling me that he had been throwing up, or she might have been beating him and he threw up. When he died, he expelled, meaning he had a movement, because that's what happens when people pass away. And when I stood there, and I wasn't a detective, I'm just an officer. I stood there and I'm just looking at her, and she would go, uh-huh, and put her head in her armpit. And then she would look up at me to see if I was looking at her. But her cousin was crying down because she knew that they had committed the ultimate crime, taking an infant's life. He wasn't an infant, but he was so small from being beaten, malnutrition, no food in the refrigerator. She wouldn't allow the daughter to talk to me. And that's when I called for detective, homicide, all these different people. And I told them on the spot, I said, she did it. Now, I'm not going to get into what she said. She's been tried. She was sentenced to 25 years to life. Her mother didn't want her daughter to talk to us and told her, if you don't talk to the police, I'll take you to Disney World. You see that? The daughter wasn't nothing but about 9 or 10. But this is what happens. This happens every single day. So when you talk about the Tyler, I want you to talk about all the Tylers, the males and the females, the children that are still lost in the system, that don't have anyone to care for them, who are still with their parents because this is all that they know and they don't want to go nowhere. You had a little boy that was, this is on Netflix. I forgot the name. I will come back and I will let y'all know. It's Saving or something. It's so sad. And it talks about how the system failed him. His mother would beat him to death. The mother and the father or the stepfather. They all were beating him, dressing him up like a little girl. He was a boy. He told the teacher. They took him away. They gave him right back. He didn't have a choice. He didn't have a choice. But y'all want to talk about Tyler? It's millions of Tylers out here. What are you going to do about them? So when you want to be mayor, when you come on TV or when you're being interviewed and you talk about what you would have done, so on and so forth, speak for all of these kids, because Atlanta is full of poverty. And it's full of people with fake dreams, faking it. Talk about the children that are being the R word on a regular by the mama's boyfriend. Then you take them and you send them right back with the mama if y'all don't cut it out. So that's why in Wiley's chat yesterday, I was saying, y'all keep an eye out on family services. And this man who's talking, you know why? Because it's not over. He's going to go back. And if the judge does not give him back, you got a whole lot of people that's going to come forward. Wait a minute, hold up. You took my kids. And they just as crazy as hell. Watch what I say. So when you hashtag Tyler, no, hashtag Tyler and all the kids that are suffering. It's not just about one. Okay? We are all mandated reporters, whether you're an officer, retired or not. You see something, you better say something, because that could be you or your kid or your grandkid. Do something about it. Make an anonymous call and stay on it. I'm the type of person, I'll come forward. If I see it, a mother beating the hell out of her kid, see that officer is still in me. I'm going to intervene. I'm going to intervene. I'm going to call. Nah, no. She beat the hell out of him. Here's the time. And I ain't going to record it because my memory is the recorder. They got cameras everywhere. You damn right. I'm not going to stand by and let it happen. CFSA, do your job. Do a better job. There were people in Wiley's chat saying the child should not have been taken. The hell? He should have been taken before that. It wouldn't be where it is today. You have to take them to get help for the children and the family. That's how it's supposed to be. But you're supposed to take all the children, not just a few. I was just in Wiley's chat outraged because you still have people, the man, the white man. If y'all don't go somewhere with that bullshit, the white man, this and that, how about Tyler's mother? Let's talk about our people. Could have got her butt up, got a job, got a bigger place, didn't allow an outsider to chastise her son, cut her son's hair, embarrass him, degrade him. Come on now. Some of y'all better wake up. Wake up. The system is there for a reason. They're supposed to help. We, the people, have to make them do their job. It's not just white kids, black kids in America, white kids being abused too. This is about all of them. Like I said, there are millions of Tylers. It's not just about Tyler and the LGBT community. It's about all the kids. You got kids running away from home because they're gay at 10 years old. You got kids. I told y'all a story about a 14-year-old who was a prostitute. Really? And you know what? When they took him from his crackhead mama, guess what? He kept running away, going back. Kept going back. You know what? I want to be with my mother because that's all he knew. That's all he knew. The foster mother wanted to adopt that child. He didn't want to be adopted. Nope. He kept running away, giving her hell. And she was just like, I want to adopt him. Forget fostering him. She had no children. I can give him the world. She didn't want the money. She just wanted to nurture and love a child. What's wrong with that? Lord, I could just cry because of some of the cases. I thank God that, you know, when I left, it took me a while to mentally leave my job behind me. I feel like I'm tearing up because of the kids that I had to encounter, you know, dead and alive. And the fact that I was the first one there, like, okay, are you going to rescue me? The look on their, oh God, well, the look on some of their faces, like, are you going to help me? You going to help my mommy? You know, a mother, two little girls, put a lock on the refrigerator door. You know why? Because she said when they went to school and they were hungry, and they told the teacher, our mother, my mommy doesn't allow us to eat. It's a lock on the refrigerator. Thank God the teacher called us. We called CFSA. And what do we see when we get there? We get in that apartment. There's a lock on the refrigerator door. So when you all want to cry for Tyler, you better cry for these kids. Oh, I didn't want to do this. I just wanted to bring awareness. I don't know if one, two, three people listen to this video. Thank Bright Star. Thank you for listening to this. Maybe you can tell somebody about it. And the reason why I say that is because we have to fight not just for Tyler. We have to fight for all of these children. Seeing that video of Tyler, it just brought me to tears because there are so many children that I encountered like that on a daily basis. And I mean, it hurts even still to this day, not knowing if they're okay, are they alive, are they good. There are kids that I took on that had babies that I didn't have to buy diapers for, drop milk off to. It was just so much, y'all. They had to drop out of school, middle school, because they were mothers. Come on. There's so many Tylers out here. We can't just put spotlight on one because he's in the community. But we have to acknowledge all of them. Every last one of them. Because they're all hurting. They only know one thing, and that's abuse. That's why we have to do a better job as public. We are mandated reporters. and don't want to report nothing unless it's something happening to ours. Some of us. We've got to do a better job. We have to. Stop blaming a white man for this and that, for taking children out of homes. When are we going to make these parents accountable? When are we going to start saying, what are you going to do? Because, see, I don't want another Benita Jax or Jackson. I've seen too many. I don't want to see anymore. I'm tired. I'm not even there anymore. Some of those cases I think about still to this day. How you get on the scene and an infant is dead. He ain't even a month old. A month old. And he's dead. So I'm different. I see it from a different light. Yes, Tyler needed to go. They will put Tyler in the best foster care system because it's under the it's under the microscope right now. What about the mother kids? What we gonna do about that? Okay, I'm gonna let you go, Bright Star. I love you, sister. Thank you for listening to me. Um, yeah, I was just yesterday. The ignorance that was in the chat. It's still it baffles me how ignorant some people can be. You can talk Black Power all damn day long. What the hell are you doing to help? What are you doing? You can talk about what the white man does and this and that, but what are you doing? I'm sick of hearing that shit. I'm sick of it. Stop giving our children to the system. Well, where they gonna go? Where they gonna go? So you want them to stay and be abused? Oh, I see. I see what it is. Anything that you feel the government, the white man. Hell, I work for the government. A lot of us work for the government. A lot of us work for the feds. And I'm gone. I shedded a tear. I'm good. Shedded a few tears because thinking about my old cases just really hurts. But some of these children are in a much better place. Because imagine what it would be like if they were still here. Unfortunately, they were taken too damn young. They didn't even have a chance. It's almost as if the parents decided, I'm going to end your suffering. I'm going to stop beating you. And I'm just going to K you. KILLU. These are innocent children. Don't just save Tyler, you save all of them. And on that note, I love you, Bright Star, and anyone else that hears this. I hope that you got something from this message. I will do another story time, and I'm going to keep focus on the Tylers, not just Tyler, but his siblings and all of the children. I'm not going to let this subject go. None of us should. We should hold the people that you love so much, these broadcasters. Ask them, are you going to discuss Tyler's story? And can you discuss more than just Tyler's story? And tell them about some cases that are in your town that you've heard about. Hold your broadcasters to that. If they take a hit and they don't get monetized for that particular channel, oh well. But we've got to bring light to what is going on in this world. We're not a third, United States is not a third world country. We've got to bring light to what is going on. We have to do that. YouTube has a plethora of broadcasters that are getting paid. I don't get paid. I'm not monetized. I don't even ask for anything. I only put my stuff up because my moderators told me, put this up, do this, do that. I did that because of that. And I would like to build my channel and become monetized. And I would like to pay my moderators. But I'm not doing this for a dollar. I'm doing this because people need to be enlightened as to what is going on. On that note, I love you, Bright Star. Sister, I'll see you later. It's Father's Day. I want you to enjoy your day. And to any of my moms that come in the room, I love y'all. Any of my family that comes into the room, I call y'all my fam. I love y'all. Manny, you know, you the only male in the family. We got to take care of our baby. All right. I'm out. Have a great day.